Well, AJ loves to spend money, and he can't spend money right now.
Hey, we've got former big league closer Heath Bell joining us right now, and he's one of the new hosts of Friar Territory, all geared up right now too. Heath, great to have you on here for the first time, man. How you doing? And you having fun hosting the show?
Yeah, I'm having a good time. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, great to see you, dude. All right, so let's do this, and
Wait,
then we'll
hold
talk
on.
more
Let's
about the
ask
show
Heath.
on the back end.
Heath,
What?
can you gain 25 pounds in 3 months?
Fat, definitely.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm.
Not
Not a
I can lose 25 pounds, but I can't gain it.
Yeah, 25 pounds of muscle ain't easy without help. But all right, let's hit San Diego Padres storylines. This is what we want to go over with Heath. And then fans, if you have a question, just type it in. Family drama. So will the Padres' internal legal battle prevent AJ Preller from doing what he normally does? So far, we have seen that being the case. NL best. The NL West is lit. Yes. Dodgers, D-backs, Giants all got better. Jackson Merrill was so good last year. How do you prevent the sophomore slump? And bullpen bullies. The bullpen's tough. It almost ended the Dodgers season early. Can they run it back minus Tanner Scott? Okay, Heath, let's start at the top here. This is a topic that's been discussed on Friar Territory. What do you think's going on right now with the front office and how much it's affecting the Padres from doing business the way that they would like to do it? AJ Preller just loves activity and action, and he's had to be held back compared to how he usually is.
Well, AJ loves to spend money, and he can't spend money right now. So that's kind of that's probably heartbreaking for him for the last year or so. He's had to cut back on the payroll, but his hands have been tied because the ownership is fighting for position, the brothers and the ex-wife, or the widow, I guess you could say. So it's just it's a frustrating time, and I think the players try to block it out as much as you can, but you can't help. Like King and trying to do a long-term contract, and other guys and other people don't want to come here because you just don't know who's going to manage the team, who's going to run the team, is the team going to be sold? So it's probably a frustrating time for the players right now, but I guarantee they all say they try to block it out, but you still, it creeps in your head once in a while.
It has to. It has to. Here's the problem with what the Padres have going on, Heath. They have a tough division. The NL West is no joke now. I mean, the Dodgers have a $400 million payroll, right? The Diamondbacks are a lot better. The Giants have gotten better. Well, I mean, the Rockies don't really count, but the Padres are in a tough spot. I know they almost took out the Dodgers last year, but every other team in the West is improving, and the Padres, because of this situation, have had to stand still. How do they hang in this division?
Well, I think the Padres have to look at the farm system. I mean, last year, if Profar didn't do what he did, the Padres wouldn't have been doing as good as they once were. And then Jackson Merrill came up and did really well. And then AJ made a couple trades during the season. So it worked out pretty well, but I really think Profar was kind of the guy that kind of carried the team in April and kind of got the Padres off to a hot start and whatnot and kind of carried them. Yeah, I mean, he fell off a little bit towards the end, but he had an incredible season that nobody saw that coming. So I think AJ and the Padres are trying to, sign Jason Hayward and a couple other guys that hoping, they can find lightning in a bottle again. So that's kind of what they're hoping for. Is it going to work? I don't know. If the season doesn't go well this year, I could see a fire sale mid-season and then basically back to rebuilding. It's the unfortunate part.
Can Jackson Merrill avoid the dreaded sophomore slump, or as some people say, sophomore slump, or is he going to be an MVP type of candidate?
Well, I think he'll be fine. See, so normally he's a shortstop. He's playing center field. He kind of learned it last year, and now he's probably really trying to embrace how to be a center fielder. So, I think he'll be fine. I don't think he's going to do what Tatis did, kind of, do some, nose cream or whatever he did his sophomore or third year. So it's, but I think Jackson Merrill will be fine. I don't think he'll have a slump. I think when you change positions, you kind of really focus on that, and you don't ever feel really comfortable at that position after 2 or 3 years go by. Then you start feeling comfortable. So I think Jackson will be fine this year. I think he'll kind of solidify himself as one of the best center fielders and young talent in the game today.
You know about good bullpens in San Diego. Is this bullpen going to be able to do the same thing, essentially carry this team's pitching after Cease and Kinger? You don't know what you're going to get from Yu Darvish. You don't know what you're going to get from Waldron. Musgrove's out. So there's going to be more innings that they have to pick up, but they were one of the best in the league and kept the offense, who didn't do anything in the last 2 games, and kept them in the games and could have gotten them to the NLCS.
Well, I think traditionally San Diego's always done really well in the bullpen. They always find guys that nobody else wants or nobody's going to do well. I think, Matsui did not as well as I think he should have done, and I think he's going to step it up this year. And there's a couple other guys like Adam, I think is going to do have a better year this year. And it's, it's just one of those things that San Diego traditionally has a really good bullpen. I think it's just with Trevor Hoffman still working with the team and just going out there and just, kind of being the unsung hero a little bit. Besides the coaches, you just kind of have that veteran Hall of Fame status that are just right here that guys always talk to and ask questions. And, what better to talk to about than, have Trevor Hoffman just kind of in the wings, about situations. So I think San Diego will be fine in the bullpen. It doesn't look as sexy as it did last year, but I think they'll be fine, and they'll be in the top 5 or the top 3 bullpens of the year by the end of the year.
I'm going to combine 2 fan questions here. So one fan says Padres fire sale if they struggle, and another fan asks about Bogart's performance to watch. I can tie them together because Bogart ain't getting traded no matter what. So you want to answer both here? Like, if things do go really poorly, who gets dealt? Because there are long-term pieces that really aren't tradable based on how much money they cost. Not that they're bad players. And then just what do you think about Bogarts and obviously shifting back to shortstop?
Well, Bogart's signed to be a shortstop. I mean, I didn't like the signing when you had Tatis to be a shortstop. He made some errors, but you can always just work on your defense a little bit better. And they went out and I think everybody in the team except for the pitchers play shortstop. So it's just one of those things that I think it was a little strange, but to move him to second base just because Kim, Bogarts got hurt, and then Kim had an incredible year, but he particularly wasn't that great of a player. I mean, he was a good, solid, maybe above average major league player, but he wasn't as outstanding like he was. And they moved him, and then what happened again? He fell back to a pretty good shortstop or a middle infielder. So I think Bogarts will be fine over there. He's, lost a step, but we always do that when we get a little bit older. But I think he's got a little fire under his butt to kind of show everybody that he's a shortstop and he's going to be the shortstop of the future. And I just think when I say fire sale, I say, it's just one of those things. I think Suarez might go, Cease and King, I think mostly pitchers will go. And I think that's the one thing we kind of lack in the last couple of years was starting pitching. We have starting pitching, but, Yu Darvish is getting older. Joe Musgrove's not there. I do like the Korean guy that we signed. Well, he's not from Korea. Hart, Kevin Hart or Kyle Hart.
Kyle Hart, yeah.
So I like him because he's a pitcher. And there's not many pitchers out there, but he's one of those guys who's got to keep the ball down. If he keeps the ball down, he's going to do really well. But when I say fire sale, I mean, all the trade rumors they were talking just recently. It wasn't like in the mid-season. It was kind of like leading up to spring training. What is AJ going to do? Are they going to trade this guy? Because they fortunately can't sign these guys. So, if people are willing to give some prospects or whatnot, but my biggest thing with the Padres is they need to start building with what they have within and stop going out and trying to get the best prospects around the league. They need to draft and develop guys and keep them and bring them to the big leagues and let them, kind of like a Jackson Merrill, help them in the big league level. You can't always find a Tatis from somebody else. What was it, the White Sox? And then have him be the star of the team. So, and then it doesn't work. Even the Yankees haven't done it. They tried for many years when they went out and signed everybody, but you can't do it for years and years out, especially when you have an ownership issue going on this season. So it's that's kind of where the fire sale. I don't predict them to have a fire sale, but just looking on the outside in, if they don't do well, who knows what AJ is going to do. And, he's gone through so many coaches and so many different situations when he first got here. He went and got a bunch of veterans, then he went young, and then he's traded off so many prospects. So you just don't know what's going to happen.
Let's say they have success. Let's say they continue to have success. How many years of success do they need to have to make it a Dodgers-Padres rivalry instead of a Dodgers-Giants rivalry? I know they're rivals now, and there was the Kershaw crying emoji stuff, but it's still not. Is it still not up to the level of the Giants-Dodgers rivalry?
The Padres have to win a World Series. Plain and simple. You got to go out and win a World Series and kind of show the Giants, because the Giants in early 2010s started winning every other year for like 3 times in a row. The Dodgers have won the last couple of years. They're always in the hunt. So until the Padres can consistently beat the Dodgers and get to the World Series and win the World Series, I don't think the rival will be. It's going to be kind of like a backyard rivalry, but it's not that, big college rivalry, maybe the high school rival of, your local high school or something, but it's not that big Division I rival like the Giants and the Dodgers. So, the Padres have to go out there and win a World Series to, I would say, win 1 or 2 in the next 5 years to kind of make it, a Dodgers, Padres rivalry. Right now, it's kind of like that little brother, big brother rivalry that you kind of know the big brother, the Dodgers, are going to win, but sometimes the little brother does. It's kind of like, you guys remember the movie, The Little Giants, the little football movie back in the day? Yeah, I kind of feel like the Little Giants are the Padres. We can win, but until we go and beat them consistently year in and year out, I don't see it being a rival. They have to win a World Series.
Wow. Big news there. Big news. We're talking about all this news. We're talking about all these player moves. What we haven't mentioned? The biggest move the Padres made this entire offseason was announced a couple of days ago. Do you know what that was, Heath?
Our old guy?
No. Don Orsillo signed a 10-year lifetime contract to be Don Diego and finish out his career as a San Diego Padre. So, the fans in San Diego love him. Him and Mudd are one of the most entertaining watches on TV. So I just want to say, while we have you and we're talking Padres, congratulations to Don Orsillo. Well deserved.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Just watching those guys and listening to those guys, it's fun to watch. It's kind of like back in the day. It's not. I don't think I think Harry Carey is one of the best ever, but they're definitely in the top 5 of that category. So there's some announcers out there that are really good that unfortunately I just don't like listening to, for whatever reason. I'm not going to name any names, but they're just kind of like, it's just, I don't want to listen to them because they're just boring. But you got to have something. So I don't know.
I'm with you. My thoughts are the same exact. There are some out there that are boring that sound like when, sound like listening to ball in the 70s or 80s and nothing has changed and it's just not fun enough. And I too will not say their names on this show. I will say them to people when I'm not on a show because I don't want hurt feeling, because I was in that fraternity once and I actually didn't care if people said they didn't like me because I took a different style. But I'm with you, Heath. There's some great, there's some good, and there's some boring. So yeah. Don is a star. I'm with you, man. Dude, you're great. It was great having you on. A lot of people listening right now were like, Heath knows Friar current ball. These guys. You're watching the game. So excited to hear more of you and Kyle Glazer. Obviously, Mike Cameron, part of that show too. But you can listen to Heath. Go get some Friar Territory action if you're a Padres fan and you're looking for real talk on the pods. Heath, you having fun with it? You're watching the games, dude. You know this team.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I stepped away from the game to kind of raise my kids. They're kind of older now. My last one is 15. The rest of them are out of high school and college. And I'm really trying to get back in the game, but the love for the game and watching the game has never changed. There's so many guys that retire that stop watching baseball. And I just think that's funny. We play this game our whole lives, and then, somebody tells us we can't play because we're too old. And then all of a sudden we just never want to watch the game. I go to baseball games all the time. I'll go to minor league games. I go to some high school games and some college games. So I just like being around the game. And, the Padres and Mets are kind of my 2 teams that the Mets gave me an opportunity in the minor leagues, and got to the big leagues, but then I really kind of blossomed with San Diego. And so those are my two teams at heart. And I really follow them a lot. And, it's just, would love to coach for one of them, especially San Diego, or do something with them. But, talking about baseball, heck, my wife never wants to bring that up because I'll just talk all day long. So, and she's like, how do you know these things? And I'm like, I don't know, because maybe I played and I pay attention. So who knows?
All right, real quick, that last one. One of the conversations we had here was Ryan Helsley was coming out to Hell's Bells. Is that fair? Because you played with Hoff and you have the last name, obviously, to be able to play that song. Can anybody else use his song, Enter Sandman?
Here's the thing. If you enjoy baseball and you respect the game, hell no, you cannot use his song. I even have the name, and I was in AAA, and they put it out for me. And then I came in after the game. I was like, don't ever use that song again. That's Trevor Hoffman's song. And I was with the Mets organization at the time. Even though it kind of fits with me and my last name, I said, I got to find a song that fits me. I can't take somebody's song. So you can't take Enter Sandman or Hell's Bells. Those are like tradition. You hold those guys on a pedestal, a Hall of Fame. If you're a Hall of Famer and you want to use it, go ahead. But honestly, that's just disrespectful to those guys. I really believe, and the game of baseball. So I'm going to say no on that aspect.
Okay, there you go. I like it. Plus, there are a few
Good
other
answer.
songs to choose from. A few other
No,
million
but
songs
my
to
thing
choose
is
from.
it's not even. It's just one of those things. Like those guys are the best of all time, right?
Yep,
and
exactly.
everyone knows them with their songs, so that's them. Like figure it out. There's a million songs with Hell in it, Bell in it, this and that, and whatever you want. I mean, figure it out. You just pick another song.
Yep, exactly.
Hey everybody, be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.